Hey there, quilty friend, it's Carolina Moore, your favorite sewing and quilting YouTuber, and you may have one of these boxes. This is a mini quilt advent box. I'm going to show you what's inside, and if you already have one, we're going to talk about what you want to do to get ready for December 1st. If you don't have one yet, I don't know what's stopping you. Head down to the description, go to the link and order yours ASAP so that you get it early in December and get to join in for the mini quilt advent. So, you ready to get all the details? Let's get started. If you're not familiar with the mini quilt advent, this is year 3 that I'm doing the mini quilt advent, and it is an advent calendar in a box. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So in this box, I have actually a little more than you would need. So we'll start with, this is the advent calendar. I'm going to, with no spoilers, open it up to give you a look at what's inside, but there will be no spoilers as to what's inside the advent envelopes. And then, this is new this year. This is days 13 through 24. We'll talk about that in a second. So the main advent is days 1 through 12. This is new this year's days 13 through 24. And then if you're just doing days 1 through 12, you can use your own fabrics, or I have a bundle of 8 fat quarters. 8 fat quarters is enough. Basically 2 yards of fabric is plenty to do days 1 through 12. If you're using your own fabric, pick out 8 of your own fat quarters. I mean, if you can only find 7 is probably fine. And if you're doing both days 1 through 12 and then 13 through 24, you'll want a half yard bundle of 8 fabrics. So these are the fabrics that I'm using in the videos, because every single day there's a video right here on YouTube that walks you through how to make these blocks. But there's also pattern instructions inside, so you'll get both ways. Okay, also, by the way, in here is the 2024 calendar. This is the 9-patch calendar for 2024. This year we did the 4-patch calendar. Next year we're doing the 9-patch calendar. So this is included in your box because of how much you're already spending getting the advent calendar. So I'm going to include this for you as well. It's just a really fun calendar. There's a link here if you want to get the details on it. But it's a fun calendar that you can use as a regular calendar, that you can see all the fun nonsense holidays that I put in here, or follow along each month if you want to make the blocks and then the finished quilt. So that will be in your advent boxes as well. Okay, so before we get into what's in these, for those of you who haven't ordered yet, let's talk about the fabric. For those of you who are joining in and don't want any information about what's inside, you want it to be truly, truly secret. Okay, let's just talk about the fabric for a second. You can prep your fabric ahead if you like. I'm a big fan of starch. So whether it's like, this is the Faultless Niagara, this is the Faultless Premium, I like a little heavier rather than, this was just what they had at the time. So this is like a medium. I like to go a little heavier. I have a whole video on starching your fabrics. You can go find that here, which is my video on how to starch your fabrics. Basically, if you don't want to watch that video, you soak your fabric down with starch. Then I hang them to dry. I use a closed drying rack and I just hang them on the rack. Let them dry, usually overnight. The next day I iron them. They're nice and crisp. Because this year's advent is based on diamonds, we are going to be cutting bias edges on our fabric. And because we're doing those bias edges, it's great to starch your fabric. It'll help keep your fabric from going wonky. So if you have time, starch your fabrics. If you're someone who likes to pre-wash your fabrics, pre-wash them first, then starch them, then press them, and then you'll be ready to go. So the fabric that I chose is the Winter Tale by Caterina Roccella. It's an Art Gallery Fabrics line because I am an Art Gallery Fabrics celebrity, so of course I only use Art Gallery Fabrics. You'll love these fabrics. We are running low on these half-yard bundles, so by the time you order, if we don't have any half-yard bundles left, you can order 2 fat quarters and that will be enough. It'll be equivalent to a half yard. Yes, the edges you'll lose a little bit, that's okay. You'll still have enough fabric if you buy 2 fat quarter bundles if we're out of the half yard bundles. So there you go with the fabric. Other materials that you'll need to do the mini quilt advent, you'll need your sewing machine, thread, iron, rotary cutter, cutting mat, just your normal quilting supplies. There isn't anything fancy, any fancy materials. The fancy stuff is included in your advents. Okay, so that gets you going on fabric requirements, how to prep your fabrics, and the materials you need. So now let's talk about what's in the advent. So this is the advent. They actually got sent out with a couple different kinds of ribbon this year. So your ribbon might look different. That's totally fine. You can untie this or you can cut it. It's your ribbon. You get to do whatever you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and untie this ribbon. And then open this up. I wanted this to feel like a present, y'all. I wanted it to feel like a gift that either someone bought for you or that you bought for yourself. So hopefully it feels that way. Okay, so what you start out with is a zippered pouch. It does have my logo on it, but it's just a basic zippered pouch, no words. So to anyone else, it would just feel like a quilt block on there, right? This is a zippered pouch that you can use to hold all of your templates and pieces in there. When you open this up, you will start out with taking out, this. So these are the instructions for how it all works. And then there's a QR code that will take you to the playlist for the whole 12-day series in case for some reason you can't get one of the QR codes on the patterns themselves. And then inside, and I'm not going to open this because that would be a spoiler, but inside are on one side the finishing instructions for making the 12-day advent, and on the other side the finishing instructions for making the 24-day advent. So your finishing instructions are right here, right away. This is a change that I made based on feedback from last year. I had a couple of people ask me, hey, what is this all going to look like? Because depending on how these blocks go together, I might cut my fabric different, and so I want to know. So if you want to know, you open this up. If you don't want to know, don't open this up. Easy peasy. Okay, so that is the basic instructions, and then we have our envelopes. So there are 12 envelopes in here. Envelopes, same thing. This is the first one, and it has a number 1. This envelope has in it an acrylic template and a pattern. So the pattern is going to give you the instructions for making block 1. There's also a video that's going to go live on day 1 telling you how to make block 1. And everything you need, the pattern, the template for block 1 are in here. Also new this year on the cards, there's a QR code every single day. So if you're making this on day 7, if you're making this on day 9, you don't need to scroll through a bunch of YouTube videos to try to find the right one for the right day. Even if you're doing this in February, March, April, you just scan that QR code. It'll take you to that day's video, and it's super easy. You'll have everything you need right in this envelope. So the envelopes continue. This is your day 2 envelope, and then your day 3 envelope. Each one has in it a pattern and an acrylic template. So we keep going on. There's your day 4, and then all the rest are your regular small envelopes for days 5 through 12. So this will get you all the way through day 12. Easy enough? Okay, so I'm going to just tuck these aside for a moment. And that is your 12-day advent. If you do that, you will make a mini quilt that uses those 12 blocks. But if you want to have all 24 days of fun, and most of you who ordered really do want to have all 24 days of fun, then you can order, this is new this year, days 13 through 24. You'll notice this is smaller, and we'll talk about why in a second. Okay, so we're going to open this up so you can see what's inside. Again, these got wrapped with a couple different kinds of ribbon, so your ribbon might be different on yours. It's totally fine. We're going to open this up. And here is your days 12 through 24. So there is a postcard in this one as well. This is your finishing instructions video. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's look at what's inside here. So inside here we have envelopes for days 13 all the way through 24. You'll notice these envelopes are smaller. There is a reason for that. These envelopes only have the pattern in them. So there's only a pattern, no templates. To make these, you need the templates from the main Advent kit. days 1 through 12. Those 12 templates are what you need to finish this. So this days 13 through 24 isn't usable without days 1 through 12. So these are your patterns for days 13 through 24, and you'll be using the templates from days 1 through 12 to make these. Now when you make all these, I still wanted to give you videos, but those videos will not be available to the public. Only the videos for days 1 through 12 are available to the public. Days 13 through 24, these videos are secret. So you need the QR codes to get to them. Again, on each card is a QR code as well as a direct YouTube link. If you're using a computer and can't use a QR code, you can use the direct YouTube link to get to your videos. So you'll still have videos for days 13 through 24. Wanted to make sure that you still get to hang out with me and we still get to make all these together. So those videos are all ready, set to go, and they are ready for you to go find them by scanning these QR codes. Okay, which also means that the finishing video for all 24 blocks is also hidden, and that's why you have this finishing instructions video card that's in there. This finishing instructions video card will get you to the finishing instructions for all 24 days. As you can see, there's also a link right on here, so you can use that link or you can use the QR code to get to the video to be able to make the whole quilt. So there you go. There's the no spoilers version of everything that's in your Advent kits, how to get started. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to still leave those down below. I am traveling right now, but I do have a team here that's going to work on getting those Advents out if you haven't ordered yours yet and you want to get that ordered. So make sure you order ASAP so they can get those out to you as quick as they can. And I will still be checking in on YouTube to answer any of your questions or comments. So if you have questions, leave those down below. Even if your Advent gets to you a couple days late, the first couple days, they're pretty simple. You'll get caught up in no time and you'll get to enjoy the fun. So I hope you order your Advents if you haven't already, and I can't wait for December 1st to start this project with you. Friends, thanks so much for watching. I will see you right here real soon. Bye for now.